Hey all, this is Synosis. Welcoming you back to part 27 of the true low level challenge. So getting very close now on getting into the true lowest level possible challenge. It's gonna have both a glitched version and a glitchless version and stuff like that. Now, when it comes to the glitched version, right, I'm gonna have to figure out okay, like what glitches are actually possible on the PS4 and stuff that, on the PS3 of course probably all the glitches would have been possible and stuff that, but yeah, and I know there are certain glitches sometimes that are only like on PC sometimes, and stuff that, but anyway, go back, and these are the set of course because these are the quote-unquote lowest level characters and stuff that, but of course, yeah, even though there are other characters that are 33, for example, he is the furthest away from like getting a level. So that she's 35, so that doesn't matter. So 2,800, 4,320. You can see, yeah, both of them are still the furthest away. So it's going to be Barrett that absorbs the XP for the next battle here. And yeah, I thought of course using AD Summit maybe on Barrett instead here, but we are going to have to see. But I did go tougher on him, of course. Let's go maybe Circlet on him. Maybe protecting on floor. And then the question is right, because we're gonna use drill arm so we can get like the double OP and a few things. The question is what though? Because right, there are reasons why contain will be really, really good because, getting the higher end spell is gonna be important, but yeah. But probably SP plus, HP plus, HP plus. And then we throw in double cut maybe. Let's throw in the double cut there. He has the highest, right? So I'm gonna put it on Claude. So Claude, you use all, and you use time, and you use barrier, and then you have contain here. So that's the highest magic attack right now. 45, 100. Yeah, got SNE 131. Okay, so he has the strongest of course, but that is because of the Aegis armlet. So you're gonna be the lucky guy. Use the Black Plus here. Black Plus, Magic Plus. Let MP absorb. I come out with SP absorb. Then Hades with MP absorb. However, New Bahamut with MP turbo. Restore and all. Right, and restore and all in Barrett as well. It doesn't matter which restore it really is, it doesn't matter that it's a weaker restore here that we're gaining more points on. Technically it doesn't matter actually. But I didn't put the restore in Barrett, no, yet. MP absorb all. Those are the best alts, right, that I gave him. I actually gave him the best alts, right, yeah. I did. Right, and he needs to have the best restore course because, and Claude is not going to get a restore at all. I mean, he's going to get a solo restore, but you know what I mean. So I restore there so we're using Hades and we're using the Bahamut, and that is 155 plus 150, yeah, so we can afford that, yeah, we can. But this is 120, so he has the highest, so he should have Death Blow. Death Blow, and let's give you ends. So more or less would give you the best sense would give to Barrett. Right, yeah, best seems to Barrett. Because we all need to have steel, so the best steel on him. Second best on you. Third is steel. Steel. We go full cure on someone. That would be if we go full cure on Barrett, so he can still get some AP for it, yes. Do that. Actually, long range is beneficial here to have. Phoenix, Alexander, and some Kyoto and Midband. We can still have all the 1,000 help with that. Do we have... We don't have a tent. We do have a Mega Elixir. Using up one of the Mega Elixirs. Just, you know, but yeah, but that gives us actually better high MP here and stuff that, you know. So yeah, we're using Heaven's Claude. And we're using Outsider. And then he is the one that really matters here in terms of the AP and stuff that. So he will get AP on a bunch of pluses. Right, then we deactivate. No, it counts as gold, but yeah. But the next challenge, like the true, like lowest level possible challenge, like when you do the glitches, for example, like the first glitch is the gate glitch, which actually, if you do it properly, right, if you don't do it correct, then you have to basically restart the game. So you just basically then get into an encounter and then just die and stuff like that, or you just go into the menu and you just, you know, click quit here, for example, and stuff like that. So it's not that, oh, you need to wait a bunch of time, right? That's not going to happen. So we need to make sure that we go north, I believe, in order to get the actual Turks encounter. We need to start going north, I believe it is. Oh, they're here. Hopefully I didn't change battle speed quickest or anything. I think this is quote unquote not the real last meeting. The last meeting with Reno and Rude at least is supposed to be in the other thing. But you can see that they have different color gradients to their suit, like Rude and Elena have much better. You might say, oh, that has to do with the lightning, but you know, still. Okay, let's end this. And if you select no, it's not. If you select the other thing, of course, you don't get to fight them even. Theoretically, you could say that, oh, this doesn't count as a boss or whatever, you know, and stuff. I believe you can still sense these guys, though, so, you know. Level 51 here, yeah. $25,000. Okay, and then we send Selena, of course, as well. Yeah, she cannot be sensed. Right, so first off we steal from him. Or save his first try, that's very nice. We do have a thing left, right? Didn't we? Why are you getting turns on this menu? I thought I had one left, but maybe not. Crossless actually here. I would love to go Guardian Beast otherwise here, but yeah. Because see, that means that she has over the certain amount of HP and stuff that to not be sensed. But that is why I do think that they should have made it so that one sense is mastered, you can sense anything and stuff like that, you know. This is actually... I mean, this could be bad. I mean, it is really good because it slows the enemies here. We already stole that. Okay, good. Then still from Elena here. Well, now we have everything. Probably haste up here as well here now. I just want to double check here, so it's 22,000, so... So let's use Alexander here. Because I believe we can actually make the other guys run away, it's just that we cannot make her run away or whatever it is. But we have to make sure that we deal more damage to the other characters first here. So that we make sure that they die first. But I think that she has used higher health anyway, so there's no way if you attack all targets that she's gonna die at the same time as everyone else. So here's 17,000, 10,000. Ah! I was really scared because we ran out of that there. Barrier. Yeah, and Elena on her own is not super scary or anything, but still, you know, like, I would like to get her low and stuff like that, but that's the thing, like, why then, if her HP gets low enough, why isn't it possible to sense her? Is it just because her max HP is too high? But then, of course, if she goes below the thing, because, you know, I think it's worth, like, is it 25,000 both of them? The always question, right? I think what the max it used to be. Is it because if it's like 20... I forgot. I did 25,000, 28,000. I'm guessing she has 30,000 then probably. That's what I'm actually guessing here. Because the thing is, right, if we do too much damage, then that's actually bad. If we do too much damage, that actually healed one of them. That was actually not very good. There's a comet on Rude. Slash on Rude. Right, we do have an elixir we can use here actually. Flawed. Okay, that makes everyone run away, okay. That is how it works. So do we get less from only making like one of them get defeated here? Because, see, that's the thing that I didn't know, you know. Okay, we all got 4,500. I think that's way less than what you normally get here. Yeah, right, because otherwise I think you can get way more if you defeat them all at the same time. Okay, so you know, that was pretty great. Is this the setup we want to stick to, maybe? I don't know, are they still the lowest? They probably still are, though. I still think this is a fine setup. So what we got, HP pluses here. Yeah, we now got more 2 stars. And this is very, very close to getting its thing. Right, and from that we now got, we now have 3 Cedrish, 3 Cedrish, 2 tough rings, 1 Minerva Band, Women's Omelet, Unifies Fire, Cold, Gravity, and Hold. So yes, a triple Cedrish, yes. So of course it's very powerful indeed. And we get another tough ring, of course, that we can just apply to whoever we want to be tanky and stuff that, you know. But he's still furthest away from leveling up all of these characters, so yeah. But again, we're gonna have to check here. Stuff that, so yeah. So the thing would then be that with that, you know. So 34, 33, okay, so he is actually further away, god damn it. So, so we need to at least move his material because he is too close. So the 34 doesn't matter, and 35 does not matter where, I mean technically 34 does matter here. However, so he is 464, he is 1689, he is 605, he is 2000, 2070, he's 464, so you're too close, yes, you're too close, so it's like this so far. So this is the furthest away. How close are you? You are still the furthest away. As you can see, he's the closest, he's second closest, then him, then I have a pretty big jump to him, and then he's still the lowest. And I cannot, of course, replace Venom Snake with someone else. So we need to have him instead in the party. And he's the second. So we equip him with Circle, I guess. And then we basically need to do his setup eventually, but let's just move everything here. Just arrange. We go. And it's not 100% certain that we're gonna be using the things. So I haven't decided what the setup is gonna be here and stuff that, you know, yet. Okay, so we're gonna get to use it in the next encounter. However, I believe sensing Proud Cloud actually works, even though he has. Well, the thing is, of course, it's the thing that I always thought is that the Proud Cloud, you might say that, oh, why is it so weak? But that was because that Sunken Galinka, you learn, of course, that the Sunken Galinka is supposed to actually be like. Sunken Galinka is actually supposed to be what you go to after you go to here. So that's when you're supposed to do the Sanka Glinka. Right, because the thing is, here he had used the regular Turk light. He didn't even have Neo Turk light, which is the thing he uses in the down shinra plane. And then you basically learn that, oh, these were the things that were going to kill the weapons and stuff that, you know. You see here, they don't even mark the exits here and stuff that, yeah. So you can basically go all the way down the tunnel here. And I believe this is not dependent on what characters you have in the party, I don't think. I think all the chests always gets placed here. Like all the chests that you can find. Because you actually do want to go back here. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty certain that it's back here that you have the W item. So that. Now the W item of course requires you to get into an encounters to do the duplication with the W item, but you only need to have one of something. So basically the way it works is the first item that you want to duplicate you use, and then when you select the second item, you select the second item, whatever it is, right, the Phoenix Down or whatever, right? And then you cancel, and you select again, cancel, and save again, and the first item you used is the one that will get multiplied. So you can like multiply up your Mega Elixirs, multiply up your Elixirs, multiply up Ethers. You can buy one Ether and then get a shit ton of Ethers. And this is really good to do, for example, like you buy the most expensive green in the game, in the Chocobo thing, and then you sell that. That's like a good way to actually gain money without having to, quote unquote, like level up all materials. So we get the power source. Actually, let's not sort the sources yet. Until we get several, actually. The question is, do we use them on Cloud or do we use them on Goofy and stuff? That's, yeah. Now the thing is, of course, if we're gonna do Emerald Weapon on this file, you know, it is weird. You shouldn't have to be on that. Here's a God source. We can sort even though we only have one of those each. Schmidt! The colonel's not this way. You fucking dumbass. Like, why would a cannon be like in the lower number and stuff that, right? Because you realize that, okay, this brings you into the center of technically Midgar and stuff that this brings you to Shinra headquarters. Or theoretically it's, yeah, this is what it is, the two ones. It's a mind source. I forgot if the other thing was a source. A magic source. So many sources in the tunnels. And then we get to number 0. W-I-M. Oh, get it. And we get the super amazing W item. And W item, of course, use 2 items at once and requires, what is it? Is it 250,000? Yeah, only 250,000 to master it. It's not that bad, really, to be honest. No. Like, and it is definitely understandable why there is a thing back here, because the encounters in the tunnel are not fun. Yeah. You know what I thought about doing also? An actual real casual run. Like, not a casual run where you actually grind, but an actual casual run where you don't do the whole, where you don't know about the whole, oh, go back to Union and you can grab these and stuff, that's right. So that then when you grab the enemy skills that make sense, for example, when you grab Beta, that is like a lot later when you normally would grab Beta, because you can grab Beta the first time you encounter Midgard's Hollow and stuff that, you know. Yeah, so you need to know about Tranquilizers, but you will often have figured out Tranquilizers, right, because that's why the Apps boss fight is so good. Like, normally if you're playing the game normally, you're not going to be using a bunch of fucking grenades on Apps. You're going to, you know, attacking him normally and stuff that, maybe casting some spells. And it's very likely, there is also of course a chance that he doesn't use attack at all, but if he uses a leak on someone, then he will cast sadness on it, and you will then notice immediately that, okay, like this character is filling its limit break pretty slowly, but they're taking way less damage than my other party members. Like, you might have that character in front row, and like several other characters, it's very, very common that you're gonna have Tifa and Claude in front row and Aris in back row. And then you're gonna notice, for example, if Claude gets like, oh wait, why are Claude taking so much less damage than him, let's say, but he has high defense and stuff that, you know. And now we're back to where we started there. And stuff that's, yeah. Alright, this is the correct way, right? Wait, is it actually that you go left here at number 8 to get out? Is it? Yes. That's the correct way. I mean, I'm guessing that means that is Sector 8, basically, is what it means. Sector 0, and this is the dead end, right? Yeah, this is another dead end, and he doesn't say anything, but yeah, that is of course where the train stops. And you realize, right, that oh, these have to be the Shinra building and stuff that, right? Because oh, in the hole. But then the thing that doesn't make any sense that if the plate really fell on that sector, for example, then why would a quote-unquote finding tunnel be there and stuff that's right? Right, and now we can read the Turtle Paradise number 2 here. That's the second one. Right, and then third one is technically the gold saucer one, right? And now you can open the 2 chests here because now it's fully automatic here. It's a robot here, beep beep boop boop. It's a bit later, man. More points, points mark for ace deuce craps 1 for ace deuce deuce. Place your order now, beep boop. So we can get rid of micro laser. Yes. Get rid of red megaphone. Yeah, we do, because we can use Starlight phone over red megaphone. Rubber band isn't worth anything else here. This is so aren't worth anything. But we can get rid of a crystal bangle. And tough rings aren't worth anything. But I think we do that. And you can see, for example, if you would sell all the sources, it's 250 is the value of each of the sources in the game. So that is something to think about. So now we have 64,000. Master. But that's where the Master is. This is actually supposed to be. And this is the pile bunker or pile banger. It's actually all of those aren't the correct name. So this is his ultimate melee weapon. But pile banger is actually interesting because the pile banger is actually a grappling hook. Is what it's supposed to be. And actually, it doesn't say, but I believe it's actually long range on it because it counts as you grappling like the enemy and stuff that. And also it's actually supposed to be a long range weapon, but it does not say. I believe we can use this, yeah. Beep boop boop boop. Boop boop boop. No. I think we go to 62 first. Did another gas gone here, of course, obviously. So. But that of course lets you actually explore certain parts where you know, I mean, you could explore like this before, but still, you know. Yeah, it's very, very weird how just abandoned the Shinra building is, just that, like, it feels like very sure it got under attack and everything, you know, but not all of the Shinra building were like destroyed and stuff like that, right? You know, like, yeah, even the mayor's gone here and stuff like that, like there's, you know, it feels like very, very odd and stuff like that, like it's just like poof. And then here now, of course, the computer is just arrow, flies and hard drive, you know. And then you get glowlands, or quote unquote glowlands, as it were, you know. It's translated to the glowlands, but here's the thing that is weird with it. As you can see, it has 78, for example, like what is it good at? My magic attack is 65, my magic defense is 105. My attack is 76, my defense is 105. Yeah, it's just like, is it just like, why? Because again, it's slightly better than Javelin. It is way worse than Spirit Lance. Spirit Lance provides like really, really good, you know. Spirit Lance provides good magic defense, because if I switch to it, instead of having 105 magic defense, you have like fucking 125, you know, stuff that, so, you know, but as a glowlands, you know, glowlands sometimes, you know, and then it's like, you know, or was it supposed to be that, oh, this grows over time, that put materia into it, and maybe it becomes like, you know, that maybe there was a functionality it was supposed to have, and it was actually supposed to grow. So, level up enough materia in it, level up enough maybe powerful materia, right? So the more AP something needs, the quicker you grow the glowlands or something like that. So for example, master, say you master like Knights of the 100 for example, with no extra growth in it, then becomes, you know, like it first becomes double, then it becomes triple or whatever, right? Or maybe it grows that, it was meant to gain more materia stocks. So first you gain maybe it's like earn this amount of AP on the glowlands basically, and you just need to learn to get a certain amount of AP, like get like 1,000,000 AP or get like maybe it will be way less, right? And stuff that there will be a certain amount of AP you need to learn, and then you get one more slot here, a single slot. Then you get another single slot when you reach the next tier, and then the tier after that they will become linked, and then after that you get the double on everything, and then after that you eventually gain triple on everything, and then maybe also they will have like a quadruple thing. Although I don't think they have coded for having quadruple as a thing, but yeah. And if you talk to this, you get some funny dialogue here, actually. Yeah. I forgot, is there anything in the air duct, actually? No. They did not decide to be smart and put actually something in the air duct there. I also thought that this box was weird here. I also thought this was supposed to be something, because obviously it's a power box, right? Because you can see cables going through it, right? So obviously maybe at one point they had meant to that, you go into the shafts and then you like disable the electricity and then all the doors open or something, you know. Because there's a lot of interesting, of course, details because of the way the graphics are done in Final Fantasy VII and stuff like that, you know. And then let's grab Kate's ultimate weapon. Why not? There's a lot of locked lockers here though. So the question is, did all the locked lockers meant to have stuff? And the make fun goes up here. Yeah, it's been set. And HP Shout is, of course, very, very powerful indeed. And HP Shout is just like Claude's ultimate weapon is that it's dependent on your HPs. Out of order, please use a different throw. Yeah. I forgot if you could. Can you get a drink here now? No. You can't even use these machines. You can't even use these anymore. I forgot if it can still increase your dexterity. Yeah, that is nice, you can actually rest there. Here's something that I think was a bit weird, because the previous fist, not the platinum fist, but the other one, of course had double on it, and this is still only normal on the master fist compared to the other thing. But master fist is actually even better than the other thing. So power up on condition changes. This actually gets affected by several status effects. If you run several different status effects and stuff, that's So you want to actually have immunity to certain things and stuff So it's about what poison can affect you, and then you get stronger. You can get affected by the petrify countdown. So still cursing with master fist is still very powerful, but then you can have even more stuff equipped and stuff And that counts as master fist actually being your best weapon, because I believe that can technically have a higher scaling than the other weapons for her and stuff. But yeah. And of course that's the master fist, and but I didn't stick to glow lance, right? No, I didn't. I was expecting using it, but yeah. But it made no sense with glow lance and stuff absolutely made no sense. However, yeah, HP Shout here. Using the Starlight. It's actually really a good 8-slot weapon, because it's actually a powerful 8-slot weapon. Because you have the real. And it's interesting because Battle Trumpet has the same amount of strength, but that doesn't have a specific, an HP Shout, of course, is affected by the HP stat on him. Yeah, so you have 98 magic attack, you have 139 physical, which isn't particularly great, but yeah, Starlight though is still pretty decent in terms of damage there, as you can see. Because I would say that when you think about the character that gets powerful 8-slot weapons or something that has a lot of slots on it, I mean, his best thing technically with a lot of slots, because Spirit Lance you cannot say has a lot of slots, it only has 4 slots. Grow Lance though I have 78 and has 6 slots. Heaven's Glory of course has 6 slots and has 93, for example. Yeah, Starlight from the fact that it has 88 and then it has that many slots. Of course, code outside their own Vincent is also very, very powerful because of, again, the slots. So let's switch to him again. Because Barrett is still our lowest here. And the question is, who do we know a band on? Probably do it on her, actually. Yeah. No ban on her. I still have the året så du det gör. Not stronger. Good. And I will save here. It's crazy how much you grow and stuff that in terms of the stats. Yeah, that is just because of having the Fort Bracelet equipped and stuff that. It's crazy though. But how much just the Fort Bracelet on its own adds. And as you can see, for example, if I switch to Wizard Bracelet, for example, the same amount of magic attack, but then it's just like I use the Wizard Bracelet over this stuff that, because yeah. Now I wish that they would have added something like so that you could have gotten for more. But I definitely would have said that it would be having some kind of smith or something like that. Oh, I can take your Wizard Bracelet, because there are certain things that are obviously meant to be an upgrade of something else, like Warrior Banger is supposed to be the upgrade of Giga Samlet, except the Giga Samlet gives you, Giga Samlet gives you 30 plus strength, right? So my strength is 60. My strength is 60, 70, 80, 90, yeah, so 30 plus strength with that. But then with Warrior Bangle, you gain 20 plus strength. Oh, the Warrior Bangle, of course, has 96 physical defense and 21 magic defense. Giga Summit only has 59 physical and then 0 the other thing. So, you know, it is very important to think about. So, of course, there's nothing special here. There's nothing, you know, like, oh, something special happens now and stuff that, you know. There's nothing here. There's nothing special here. But I thought that right, yeah, it's really cool to go back into the shinra building, and yeah, and here you actually still have employees, but you cannot even go out on this floor and stuff that, you know. So, you know, he's not gonna go through the door, right? To see. So they are still working. And then the funny thing is, this is the disc 1 still. It's still stuck at the disc 1 here. It's actually very fucking funny because you can see the slice there on the wall. You can hear the normal music here, but then you can still see the blood stain. Yeah, sure, they didn't clean this up. That's, you know, it's like really, really weird. Like what the fuck are they doing? No one's that, but yeah. But then it would have been cool, right, if you could have quote-unquote gotten the key cards again. So there, but of course now, obviously you don't need the key cards. So, you know, it's some sort of weird security thing that happened. But we want to make sure that we go to floor 59. And now we go to the reverse way because we need to go to the reverse way to get the final item. Then you can get in the shinra building. And I would have definitely put a bunch of extra fights. The question is, can we get the things that we didn't pick up because we didn't go the stairs the first time we went through the shinra building? Because keep in mind, during the true lowest level challenge, again, just like when we did a regular lowest level challenge, encounters will always be on. We never actually will be allowed to turn off encounters, even in scenarios where we might say, oh, this would be really useful here and stuff that, you know. We are, of course, allowed to get, like, for example, an enemy away if we can. We are allowed to actually get the enemy away and stuff that, you know. Those always look like keys. Yes. Doesn't it? Like this look like a keychain or something like that, or maybe handcuffs, but it makes more sense that these are keys. It's just so, because they throw like so many fucking things here in the stairs, like fuck. It's like this is the garbage thing or whatever, right? They used, you know, I'm guessing, right, that they're carrying, like maybe they're carrying stuff up the stairs, and then it's just like, nah, fuck this, you know, stop that. But imagine, right, imagine how fucking ripped. And I wonder if this is actually how soldier trained their dexterity or whatever, right, you know, running up the stairs. This should definitely be a mini game, like where you mash a certain button and then you go fast and fast up the stairs or whatever, right, and then, you know, and maybe it would be a way to get to like farm infinite, like, right, and this should be behemoth horn. Which, this is funny, I sometimes count this as being his ultimate weapon over the quote-unquote, what do you call it, limited moon, right? It's called limited moon, right, yeah. Because the behemoth horn is interesting because it's a very unique weapon. Like, there are certain weapons that have very, very, very good stats on them, that they have a bunch of extra stats, like, for example, the fact that Spirit Lance also gives you like vitality and stuff that, or yeah, like, or it gives you spirit rather, right? It makes sense, right? Oh, and this is the elixir, right? Because this is the one that's on disc 1 here. So that is still there. Doesn't that mean that there's another thing that's also going to be here? Because there's more than one thing when you go up the stairs on disc 1, right? There's more than just an elixir. But it would have been cool if the other stuff that could appear in the stats on disc 1 would actually be here, but turn into something else, something more powerful, you know. But I kind of wish something that they did, for example, in Bone Village, that I would have added some sort of hint system, or that they could tell you what was still there to dig up. If they were like unique items or whatever, or something you can only dig up once, like, I know that you can technically actually dig up several bounty lines, or although I forgot that, do you need to sell the bounty lines before you can dig up more bounty lines, or. This purple thing, by the way, I always thought that this was supposed to be ammo or something like that. And that is just because of like Resident Evil and stuff that makes me think that, oh, this is ammo for something, and stuff like that, And is it just me, or does this say like D1? That this is B, and then there's a number, or DI or something like that? Like, is this like a gasoline tank? Is it just like a sign, or something like that? Because like, why do they always display the same thing, and stuff like that, Because there are so many items where you have to use your imagination a bit. And stuff like okay, like what is it? This is obviously boxes, for example, but because sometimes when there's like, let's say that, oh, there's just a bunch of copy-pasted stuff here, sure. But the items are not the same on every single floor and stuff like that, I'm pretty certain. There are actually some differences on certain floors. And there we go, there's the bottom. And now we go up. I always thought that this was interesting, right? Does this mean technically that there would be a basement? If these blocks are blocking the way, were they at one point meant to have like a basement? Whatever, because Because I want to doubly make sure that there isn't something on the way up, basically. It's also because I want to make sure that we do the setup of the stuff we're going to be using. That we do the actual setup in the other place. You keep in mind that you need to have Barrett in the party for the maximum, or for the missing score to actually appear. Yeah, the treasure chest won't appear if you don't have Barrett in the party at that point. And it would have been interesting if you could have triggered the whole running through the stairs scene, and that there would be several scenes depending on what party members you are doing it with. Stuff that, Because, they should definitely, like, increase the character's quote-unquote dexterity or whatever. But I also think that other stats, like vitality, should probably go up. Because you could say that vitality is stamina also as well, stuff that, So, yeah. Probably strength as well, because fucking leg day, It's so weird sometimes. The controller has none of that drifting and all happening and stuff like that, and then sometimes you see it starts, right? So it's a bit weird, But because we want to go to the floor where the quote-unquote in-style thing is, where you can use rest for free and stuff like that, And then we just do the setup that we need to use for Proud Clad. Stuff like that, With Proud Clad, I'm pretty certain that we're gonna be able to actually kill it with only leaving one character alive. We might also wait even longer with doing ultimate weapon and stuff like that, Just because once we get access to Naughty Creator, the question is though that, because when we did Naughty Creator the first time I did it, we did the Naughty Creator back in during another, I forgot if it was a challenge run, we did our thing where we managed to get quote-unquote 3 new styles in total, but theoretically you would have 4 new styles then, if you already got the one in Midgar, because you're able to actually duplicate the missile twice, so you can get 2 missiles out of actually that would make it 3 missiles in total, but still, you know what I mean. It is possible to also have quote-unquote 3 Imperial Guards and stuff like that, you know. The Imperial Guard, of course, is not bad. You know, the Imperial Guard is very, very powerful, but, you know, but it does not have like a defense percentage, so it doesn't give you any extra dodge. But so many armors give you such low percent anyway that you need basically stuff like wizard bracelets to gain a good like defense percent. You know, stuff like that. But then it's always weird like that, like what do they think with that, you know, but I can understand because they know how powerful that stat is, so, you know, of course. But Mistral is also interesting because Mistral is actually, because the funny thing is when it comes to Mithril, a lot of Mithril stuff in certain of Final Fantasies aren't true Mithril. It's where, like, I've talked about this before, that Mistral is actually pure Mithril, because Mithril is, in certain games, it's mistranslated into silver, because that's technically what it is. It is technically silver, is actually what Mithril is, but it's supposed to be like, you know, yes, it's in Tolkien's universe as well, like in Lord of the Rings and stuff that, you know, like Mithril and stuff that, Mithril is super lightweight and stuff that, but yeah, but it's supposed to be like silver-like, and then it's like much tougher and stuff that, yeah. But then of course Mistral is supposed to be like pure Mithril, stuff that, like Mithril without any like, right, because, but then the weird thing is this is you have like stuff like the silver armlet, and then people might not have understood that the silver stuff in Final Fantasy 1, because it's technically called silver, I believe even in the NES version. There's a lot of things, of course, that doesn't get spelled out fully, what they're called, like Pro Ring, for example. Pro Ring is actually not a ribbon, but Pro Ring is actually Protect Ring. It's what Pro Ring is actually supposed to be, which is why it gives you defense and added defense. And this was always very interesting, because this to me, by the way, because there's arrows down, like, oh yeah, you can fall down this. No, it's actually supposed to be probably one of those big elevators that has like a floor thing, and then you ride down on the floor, you know. But I mean, right? You think about one of those elevators in Half-Life that goes down that way, it goes like diagonally down instead of just going straight down. That's what this looks like, that this goes diagonally down, actually. It's kind of like a waiting area, right? And I forgot which floor it was. Yeah, so we want to be doing the setup now, of course, obviously. Here we go, now we want to be doing the setup. Tough ring, take 3. But then here's lowest, yes. So we need to be using the alarm here again. So HP plus, double cut. Do we put the 2 best? We put the best all here together with restore action on him. Boom. And now we put all. And we put time. And we put barrier. But then we put contain. And then MP absorb, MP turbo, and HP absorb. So MP absorb on ADs, MP turbo on New Bahamut, and HP absorb on Hot. No, let's... Restore all. Let's always use restore on its own. Do we... Yeah, he doesn't have space for it. He has though. Full cure. Even though that would indicate that, oh, that I'm planning to, you know. Death blow here. Put sense on him. Put sense on Sid. We don't need steal because there's nothing we can steal from the boss. Magic Plus. Luck Plus on him instead. Phoenix Alexander. Kryata Bahamut Odin. Yeah. Tough-ring. Or do we circulate action on yeah, circulate, tough ring, use our protect ring. Let's get some rest. Dynamite tranquilizer. We tranquilize it out. And actually what you should be doing is actually not use any sources at all throughout the whole run, and then just wait until you're doing, until you're actually doing weapon fights. Or at least until you're doing emerald weapon and stuff like that. Just double checking again here so that we did save. See? I saved over the first save there, but that's actually good, so I'm only using 2 saves here. Stuff that, but yeah. I want to double check here so that we did get sense, yeah, that's good. Because I'm pretty certain that we are able to actually sense, yeah, because yeah. It is very annoying, of course, if I have to just check out the statistic on the boss, okay, how much health do we actually have? Technically, save is closer. Because it would make sense, right? That here's the thing, right? If these are supposed to be sectors, right, and sector series where quote-unquote the Shinra building is right, then why, for example, then how come the sector for where that's supposedly where the story, how come that sector can still be there? Stuff that makes absolutely no sense, you know. Because you would have to realize that that train track that you ride on would quote-unquote be the sort if that were the case. And now comes the Proud Club. What the hell is that? Are you serious? Is this supposed to be the anti-weapon weapon? Because they were actually supposed to use the huge materia in this robot from the very beginning, actually. Stuff that, you know. Yeah, anyway, I'll see you all in the next